Gal, are you sort of playing devil's advocate here because you're still a little bit sore that
No,
you're out?
because honestly, I've seen this is nothing to do with soreness or nothing. But at the end of the day,
lies.
The player said numerous times that his priority decision would be if it was between any other club, he would go to Barcelona. And Barcelona today, if we're not mistaken, they got a leveler. They sold off 10%, as you said, Terry, to a company, so they could still get two more possible levelers or somebody else to come help them out in a way where they could sell something else off and possibly still get the money to bring in players and sign the players they need to. So that is potentially on the cards because there are reports that they were looking for two more investing groups to help them out.
Mark here says Paul Joyce has already said that Barca are preparing a new bid of 50 million plus 10. Well, listen, Fabrizio has just pointed out that what their bid's been rejected. They're coming back again. I think they get him. He's waiting for them. Leeds will respect his wishes. Well, if they get 60 million, then they absolutely will accept it. This is there's no denying that, Mark. I really appreciate the super chat. I'm still intrigued to know, though, because the one thing, though, if Chelsea really want him, then this is what I'd say with the money situation they're in, offer him more salary. I mean, I've offered him 6 million a year. Listen, a little cheeky 6.5 mil, 7 mil, a nice little bonus if they win some things. There's still hope here for Chelsea. There's no doubt. They are leading. You know, he's broad. I mean, he already accepted the personal terms. As far like I'm not going to beat over the semantics. When people say he's broadly accepted, what do you mean? He's accepted the wages. He's accepted the shirt number. He's accepted the status in the squad. He's just basically waiting before he signs it because he wants to know what Barca are going to do. So this is going to be a real interesting one to kind of transpire. Speaking of hijacks, there is news circulating today, and I've seen Spurs fans putting it in the chat here that maybe Spurs are going to go in for Yuri Tillemans, a cheeky cash plus Winks bid.
Didn't he another Arsenal target?
I thought you were
Tally Winks.
I'm sure a gal's done mock-ups with Tillemans in the Arsenal shirt.
I thought for sure you would have mentioned the fact that
the gal's going to start growing grey hair by the end of the show.
No. I thought for sure he was going to mention Chelsea were going to go in for Richarlison because it's relevant to Rafinha news, but he went straight to Tillemans.
Well, they did. They tried to hijack it, didn't they? But they didn't make a big enough bid.
No, but that shows that they might be out of the Rafinha thing. They might be out of it.
How?
Because why would you then go for Richarlison on the 90th minute? The last
trying to get
minute?
both.
Have you seen my forwards?
Yeah,
we need as many as we
they
can
need,
get.
yeah, and Lukaku left as well. Don't forget that they need forwards. So it makes
not
sense.
one or the other. It's both.
No, but
Yeah.
it's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say, hey, you've seen that Tottenham are about to get a deal done for the same money that you offered for Rafinha. And you're like, you know what? Let's just try to get whatever we can get done right now.
No, I think
play the same position or the same
yeah,
style.
exactly.
Richarlison's a striker, Rafinha's a winger.
Chelsea
were just trying to sort out their front three for the future.
Yeah,
So you made your own point.
Yeah, but that's what he's saying. He's saying he's saying that they go for both, which makes sense. They're not the same player. They don't play in the same position.
They're still going for Raheem Sterling, if I'm not mistaken. So
Sterling on the left, Rafinha on the right, Richarlison up front.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Boom.
Disrespect Kai Havertz.
It's 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah.
So Chelsea are disrespecting their players by trying to build more depth, but like Arsenal are being brilliant by trying to increase yours.
Yeah.
The agendas.
Guys, we're not putting Kai Havertz on the bench. These guys are literally taking a guy.
So were you going to put Saka on the bench? Were you going to put Saka on the bench if you've got Rafinha?
Never.
So where's Saka playing? Or Martinelli? Or
so Martinelli's not the special. He's not the special one then. Okay, that's cool.
No, there's a difference, guys. Don't try to compare Martinelli and Isar to Kai Havertz. This is a guy.
Hang on. No. Wait, David. Sorry, Igal. No. But you've retweeted it and shared it and joined in with the party. When no. When you
try to score brownie points,
Igal, let me finish. Igal, let me finish.
You're trying to get brownie points here.
Hang on. Brownie points from who? Listen to what I'm about to say. Listen, my audience are already subscribed to me.
No,
Igal. Listen, you didn't. If you actually let me finish, sometimes what you're about to say, I'm answering, but you don't let me speak.
Okay.
I'm not saying you said it, but I've seen you retweet it and join in with the banter. Therefore, you're backing that word. And you your fans have said that ESR is going to be better than Kai Havertz. And have you called them out and said they're wrong?
Do you call your fans out and say they're wrong? When
I think they're wrong. Johnny, have I ever called you out if I think you're wrong?
Plenty of times.
There you go.
I'll call my fans out. I'll call my fans out.
So you've been on the thread. You've been on the thread. Did you call Arsenal fans out for saying ESR is better or going to be better than Kai Havertz? Did you call them out?
Did I call them out? Yes, numerous times. I said, don't do that. I said, don't do that.
Okay, cool. Look,
anyway, you're trying to win points here. My point was
win points with who? Win points with
who? We've gotten off topic.
No, you brought it here.
No, Gal, you said that he wouldn't start, and basically we're talking about the bids for Rafinha, Richarlison, etc. But it all goes into the same thing. Chelsea would want to get all three if they could, if they can, and if they could, they would.
And I don't think they would go for all three. I think they're trying.
But why not, though, Gal? Why not?
I personally think.
One second. Have you seen the state of Chelsea's forward line?
Exactly.
Yes,
why would they not do that?
Just listen to what I'm about to say. The reason why I think they went for a late bid in Richarlison was because they seen that the Rafinha deal might not happen due to the fact that Barcelona are now seriously interested.
No, I think the reason why they went for a late bid is because they know it's at an advanced stage. And obviously, if you can swoop in at that, you know the team are ready to sell, you know the player's ready to move, and boom, you try and flex your muscles. But it was too late. That's why they did it.
Yeah. Igal, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like I've seen a few Arsenal fans tweet this today, and I want to get your perspective as a Gooner. I've seen a few Arsenal accounts kind of dig at Chelsea, like all they're really doing is they don't really have a transfer strategy. They're just kind of waiting to see what others do, and then they're pouncing. Do you agree with that?
It is kind of funny. Of course, they probably have a strategy, but what they're doing is they're doing what Liverpool did, waiting to see what other people get sorted out, and if they can then come in the last minute and take that deal because they've already done all the legwork.
I think, yeah. I mean, well, you did it with
I find it hard to believe
Diaz.
that a club of Chelsea's size does not have a transfer strategy. I really
listen. I honestly, they sacked majority of those people, so they do probably have a strategy.
Those people weren't allowed to do transfers anyway.
Okay, so who's in charge of your transfer strategy? Is it Bowley?
The new group now.
Okay, who's actually going out there doing the negotiations? Is it Bowley himself?
Yeah.
I rest my case.
What case? What's the case? There was no case to establish.
He literally just came in. He doesn't know nothing about football.
No, they could have planned, but we weren't actually the actual official club people like Mourinho and that. They couldn't plan anyway because the sanctions said that we couldn't do it. But they're telling me that Bodie hadn't already thought about certain players and certain things that he hadn't talked to Tuchel. That's the whole point of what we're doing right now. The whole point is that Bodie and Tuchel have really good communication. So Tuchel can tell Bodie what I need in this squad and how I can transform this squad to make it better.
Okay, so everything's being written down and sorted out right now behind the scenes. I get that. But my point is, Bowley has just come in. So you don't have, you know how every other club, Terry, you talk about they have targets for 6, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. Do Chelsea, are majority of their targets more could be skewed to the new signings?
But they are. We know that. We know that because they've got rid of the people.
Well, my point is accurate.
No, but your point isn't accurate because the team that you use as an example is Liverpool that have a strategy. Teams do this hijacking thing all the time.
A new owner coming in, changing the plan.
No, but he isn't. He isn't changing it per se. He's going with what the manager wants. The manager knows these targets. The manager knows these players. It isn't. If Bowley was coming in saying to Tuchel, "We're dropping your targets, and this is what we think," I think your point would make sense. What the new owners have done is they've said to Marina and co, "Listen, your targets don't match 100% with Tuchel's. We're backing Tuchel. Let's go out and get his." Todd Bowley doesn't need to understand football if he negotiates on behalf of what Thomas Tuchel wants. Where it goes wrong when you have businessmen and bankers doing your negotiating is if they're also picking the players. And that's not what's happening at Chelsea. Chelsea's players are being picked by Thomas Tuchel. And for me, Raheem Sterling's, listen, today Simon Phillips and Chelsea fans trust him. And he very rarely says that he knows things. So when he does, I trust him. He has said that Raheem Sterling, the Raheem Sterling deal and terms are agreed with Manchester City. That looks like a deal that's going to happen and get over the line. The lit is progressing. They've got a great chance with Dembele, in my opinion. if
How
he
long
doesn't.
have they been working on those?
One second, let me just finish. A great opportunity with Dembele if he doesn't sign up Barca. They're in the running here for Rafinha. And if they don't get either of those two players, they will look elsewhere. There's Anthony of Ajax are looking at. Chelsea are looking at some serious players. And I still think it's weird that people are trying to play Chelsea down, almost write Chelsea off. Like what they're doing is this weird hit and miss. This is fans projecting fear about how scared they are of what this new Chelsea regime is going to look like. It really is for me. Fear.
Has the new ownership had a big part to play in their new signings? And also, have they been involved in speaking to some of these signings for as long as Manchester United have been involved in speaking to De Jong, or Arsenal have been involved in speaking Gabriel Jesus? Or do you think majority of these signings, since Boli has come in, are now taking an approach where they're like, this opportunity is coming to rise, let's pounce on that? My point is, majority of these transfers are being headed by the new organization, run by obviously Thomas Tuchel and whatever he scouted before, but majority of it is looking like it's being done by the new organization.
Again, you're missing the point. The negotiations are, but the targets are Tuchel's and his teams. They will have been, so the deals haven't been worked on club to club, player to player, because no one's been allowed to do that at Chelsea. But the target list isn't brand new. A little bit like with Man United's. Eric Ten Hag, Man United are new to talking to these players because our team only came in at the end of May. So they've had a month. They've been at the club officially, 6 weeks? They've had 6 weeks to start officially working on these deals. But Eric Ten Hag's known about these players. Eric Ten Hag was going to sign Terrell Malacia for Ajax. So yes,
I'm not talking about Ten Hag. I'm talking about United. I'm not talking about United.
I'm giving you an example. You're missing it.
You're missing it.
No, I'm not. Todd Bowley isn't driving these transfers. Todd Bowley isn't saying we must sign De Ligt, we must sign Sterling. Todd Bowley said to Tuchel, "Who are your targets? Cool, I'll go and get them."
So how long have they been linked to Nathan Ake? How long have they been linked to?
Why does that matter? Why does that matter?
My point is Chelsea Football Club might have already done the groundwork and look at these players, but they have not actually been linked to these players before Bowley came in. And that's why I'm saying it's more of a new approach and it's not as what do you call it? They don't have such a long approach as everybody else has.
Because why would they get linked with players when they can't buy any? When they legally cannot buy any players, why would they be linked with players? It makes no sense.
Bro, what are you talking about? I'm not talking about linked to players. Everyone was linked to players from January. Are there any of your January targets currently being looked at? Maybe.
Why is this matter?
Yeah, Chelsea were in for Rafinha in January. Yes.
Yeah, done. So all you had to say was that. They weren't linked to De Jong, though. They weren't linked to some of these guys. My point is, Terry, at the end of the day, a new owner has come in and has changed the way they run their business. And that's simple.
No, okay. He's changed the way they run their business. But my point, it might go back to the original point here. Let's not lose sight of that. Arsenal fans online have been making it sound like it's slapdash, hit and miss, no strategy to it. Like it's not strategic. Yes, it's only come together recently, the plan, but they're going about their business brilliantly. Yeah. Sterling done. The Ligt could happen. They've got Jules Koundé sitting there going, please buy me. And they're going, well, you wait, mate. Like I'm saying that Chelsea are doing some serious work right now.
Can I also raise a point before we move on? The transfer market is reactive as well. We always have to remember this. Like even today, a report come out saying Tottenham are after a centre-back at LCB, and then we'll wait to see what else happens. It's always a domino effect. Like if Dembele moves, for example, then someone has people are going to go after him. If they go after him, then someone else is available, and so on and so forth. That's why we see the last week so many things happen. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, Nigel, but it's also a reactive market. Like Chelsea saw that Richarlison was about to move, so they tried to swipe, and that will happen the same way in January we lost out on Diaz. Liverpool were going to wait till the summer, but when they saw that he was about to leave and they were missing out on him, then they went and got him. Obviously, it was to our at our expense, but that's how the market is.
Let me ask you guys this: finally, the old regime, would they have kept Lukaku?
Yes, they wanted to. But no, they would.
I don't know.
Guys, I don't know what you've all been reading. This is one of the reasons they moved them on, because Petr Cech and Marino wanted to give Lukaku one more year. This is
okay.
Guys, so am I wrong?
I didn't know that.
Am I wrong? They changed their strategy.
Yes, no.
Yes. Yes, you are wrong because we changed our strategy. So the original plan, the original plan was keep Lukaku for another year. We then got rid of Lukaku, right? So we're gonna need another striker. That's why we went in for Richarlison, not Rafinha. Your whole point at the start of this,
we're gonna move on from this. My point is the original question was, why are some Arsenal fans making it sound like it's a bad strategy? It's not professional. It's unclinical. So your question, yes, they've changed. No, not because. Just because you change strategy doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it hit or miss. The question wasn't, have they changed their strategy? Are the new owners driving something different? Yes. Does different mean bad? No. Arsenal are acting differently now than they were 3 years ago. Is that a bad thing? No.
No, Terry, that's not what I'm saying.
I don't care what you're saying. I want you to answer the question. Do you think Chelsea are behaving badly in the transfer market?
I think Chelsea have completely shifted everything.
That's not the question. Is it good or bad? Is it good or bad?
Igal, you have something else.
There's more nuance to it.
I want to know. Add the nuance, but I want you to answer the question. Do you think, like some Arsenal fans have suggested, that they're being hit and miss, slap dash, not really planning things, panicking?
They don't look like they have a direct plan because everything keeps changing. People keep changing. Ownership has changed, and what they were going to do, which was keep Lukaku and work around it, they've now completely shifted away from. It can be a good thing in the long term, but it does look like they've changed so much over this time that. But
what do you think? Do you think it's good or bad what they're doing,
bro? Terry, it looks messy. It looks messy.
So you think it's bad? You think it's bad then?
I'm not saying it's bad or good. It could potentially be good, but it looks messy.
Igal, just answer the question. Igal, stop sitting on the fence. Just answer.
I'm not sitting on the fence. I've said my answer. There's no more nuance to the answer than just good or bad.
No, but
giving you my answer.
He's asking a direct question.
I understand there's nuance to it. The nuance to it, Igal, is I don't think it's going to work out because I think it looks a little bit messy. I think they should have stuck with their previous plan and regime. I think that's a mistake. Or actually, they're looking at better players.
Guys, to get rid of Lukaku, but it does look messy because it does look like they've changed their whole strategy and how they were going to approach this window.
Okay.
I don't see how it looks messy at all. Why does it look messy?
Listen.